Ryan, are you leading the call? Because I think Philip is on holidays.
Yeah, Philip is on holidays. I'll be leading. And if Devjit wants, he can take notes. Just do a thumbs up if you are.
Yep.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, fine.
So yeah, we'll wait 1 or 2 minutes more if you want to share your screen so we can see the notes.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's been 2 weeks of pause. We had the Interop and then DAppCon. Sadly, I couldn't join for the DAppCon. Did you guys have fun? Was it good?
Was a wonderful event. Yes.
Nice, glad to know. I guess, do you want to share any big directions you see, any big picture stuff that you learn at the conference?
I don't think there's anything Gnosis specific, and maybe for here, just to summarize for most people who maybe haven't seen this, that the focus of Gnosis is like strategically on the application layer. So the big things that Gnosis was talking about at DAppCon was, well, primarily circles, and secondly, Metri. Anyone who doesn't have a profile, please go to app.metri, metri.xyz, and we can invite you and get you onboarded to circles and Metri, and obviously Gnosis Pay. So these are the things that are currently ongoing and is the focus of Gnosis for now. Really nice growth numbers on Gnosis Pay with a partnership with Picnic, which is a South American wallet. So we've seen significant growth numbers on there in the past weeks and expect that to persist going forward, hopefully, obviously. Yeah, so that is the focus. So the focus on the chain will for now mostly be, well, follow Ethereum and keep front-running Ethereum hard forks to contribute to, basically testing any hard forks in prod, and hopefully at least somewhat support the Ethereum ecosystem thereby, and all the client teams working on it. Yeah, so there is a lot of attention on that, and I think what it means, and we can later on go into some specifics for Aragon and Nethermind, it means that we have increasing expectations to not just ship technology, but have something that actually works and deal and try to improve how we deal with client issues. So I think, yeah, maybe less focus on more innovation on the chain side, more focus on making sure the stuff that we supposedly ship actually works in production for a large user number. That's how I would summarize kind of direction which was made more obvious at DAppCon.
Okay, thank you. That's very exciting. I gotta say, in the case of front running, some direction that's gaining a lot of traction in consensus circles is that we want to reduce the slot time from 12 seconds to 6. And we have been testing that configuration for many years. So that's definitely going to be really valuable when the time comes. Okay, let's get started. So we'll follow the agenda order. Any updates from Shatter?
Yeah, some this week. We are
just about to release a new DepNode package to bring that to par with the current non-DepNode version. Also, after the outage we had earlier this month, I think, we've been improving the metrics to catch basically the case we had where keepers appear to be online but aren't actually able to create keys. That is not in this current release, but will be released shortly. And also we plan to increase the keeper set size, but that is currently a bit constrained by lack of participation from the whitelisted keepers, but we're working on that.
Okay, thank you. Updates on testing.
Okay. For the last few weeks, we have synced East fork with upstream, created some scripts to debug East test. Also, we have updated repository with Gnosis fixtures with new changes, and during this activity, we have found some issues with our T8N implementation, so currently fixing it. That's it.
Okay, and I want to add, I've been deep learning about Hive, EST, and TAN, and I think I have a good understanding of it now. And we had a call with Dimitro also, and I think we have a clear plan on how to address the issues. I have also been writing EST tests for Gnosis, and with, I think maybe like 7 or 8 tests, we can have full coverage. So yeah, it's looking good. I think moving to AST it was definitely the right call. Cool. Next, updates from Nethermind.
Hi, so we are fighting with release 132. We found few regressions. Probably all of them are already fixed. So we are making some final tests and hopefully we'll have this release this week. It's 132.0.
Thank you. Erigon?
Sorry, actually comment on this one. So in line with what I said before of Gnosis working on the application layer and having higher expectations for clients to just work, I just wanted to bring attention to an issue for Nethermind. It's number 8860. Which basically says get logs. Let's face it, most people just use get logs, being unacceptably slow for many developers and the behavior being different from how other clients work. Maybe Anton, you can take it from here.
Thank you. I think I wanted to speak about the whole situation in the end of this call, but if you want, we can do it now. Basically, it will be heavily client related. Just a bit of history to start from. We used to run Erigon node and to serve all ESGet logs from Erigon node, which was quite okay till 3.0 release. And now there is an issue that is also registered, and it will be linked here in a few seconds. For Erigon, that basically ends up with some logs being missed, some logs ranges just return empty lists. As a result, we started gradually to move to serve logs from Nethermind, and yesterday we did one of more redirects, so we also redirected public traffic to Nethermind, and we ended up with an issue that simply we had the queue, like RPC limit queue, fully booked by incoming calls. And the issue itself, I mean, different clients have different expectations, of course. However, we have a clear comparison as an RPC provider that these ranges on these ESGet logs were served by Erigon without no issues. Now we have an issue on Erigon side, and we are trying to route to a different client, and we are experiencing that there is a slowness. Sometimes it just timeouts, sometimes it responds, so we can't route all the traffic to the Nethermind. As a result, we fall back to Erigon with some missing data. because the impact of serving it from Nethermind even bigger. Just to understand volumes, I can speak on volumes, and I can say what do most of the providers. Basically, most of providers just rate limit logs. However, that's not the thing that we want to do for Gnosis, because first of all, we have in 5 hours, for example, there are more than up to 200k unique requests with ranges 0x0 to latest, and rate limiting that might impact other depths on the network. So rate limiting here is not the case. We basically need to have a reliable way to support the things that we were able to support before, because there is no increase in volume itself. The increase the volume remains the same for a couple of months. And also, I wanted to add that we started to think and test res and guess for these use cases. I can say from now that guess can't serve that long ranges, like 0x0 to latest, and we will continue reporting more issues. I will link these issues here as well.
Hey, so Łukasz here from my team. So currently, Nevermind doesn't have an index for the logs that would allow you to serve long ranges efficiently. And I would say this is somewhat of a problem for each client with different maybe degree of the problem. I think maybe Erigon had this kind of index actually, so it might be actually the best for that. But like you're saying, it might be have some regressions. We are working on an index, and we have more or less, I think, version that's more or less working, but it's not released yet, and it needs some polish. So definitely not yet stable. I think the ETA on that was to finish it maybe next month. But yeah, the whole thing is that the long range queries are, in my opinion, a bad design in the first place, and potentially could be just an error, that if you specify a block range bigger than, let's say, 10k blocks or something, we could just error. But that's probably not, you don't want that either. So yeah, this is a problem. I might contact you with our implementer of that feature. Maybe we can give you a beta version, let's say, for testing purposes, and you will see if if it works for you, or maybe do you have any more issues that we should prioritize working on. But yeah, it's a hard problem, and we don't have a full, stable, robust solution yet. It's close, but it's not yet done.
Awesome, but good to know that there is something in the making, which, yeah, at least next month we can hopefully use.
And last thing, for the unable to rent instances of EFRPC module, this is limited by purpose because we had in past some issues when it grew too much. But you can also experiment a little bit and increase one of the parameters. I will respond in the issue, so you can try setting it a little bit higher and see if this will unstack at least the queue of the requests.
Thank you. We had a lot of tries, so we even disabled it by setting to 0, and eventually it didn't help. So I can respond. We had it yesterday. We had these experimentations, and basically, before reverting back to Erigon, we tried releasing the queue completely, tried to implement some, a lot of things. However, it still builds up, and the queue is just the queue is not the main issue. The main goal here, as I believe, is to be able to serve is-get logs on that level that we were able to serve before, and to be able to serve from at least multiple clients. So, however, it's like a side effect, I would say.
Can you, by some possibility, send us a sample load, Like, can you record a load or which is being received by sample node? Because Marcos actually is working right now also on JSON RPC standardization and also working on a tool for better performance testing of RPC calls.
We can provide.
We are working together on that with EF, so maybe we can put that load here and also see, measure Erigon, Ref, Gef, never mind, and see.
Can we move this conversation to the channel? Gnosis core devs, this would be fine?
Yeah.
Anton, you're in Gnosis core devs, right? All right, probably yes.
Cool.
Okay,
All
any
right.
more topic? Okay, I'll take that as a no. I think we didn't went through Erigon, so any updates?
Yes, so we are setting up our Gnosis production validators, and we'll track Erigon's performance as a validator. And besides that, we are working on Fusaka, of course.
Also on that front, I just wanted to kind of bring visibility. So it seems right now, Erigon, even though we appreciate all the work that's being done on Erigon 3.0 and the greatness that it brings, is considered broken and not working, and on a similar issue, right, on the logs that we just mentioned. So I would call this a maximal showstopper situation. And I'm just curious if there's internal visibility in the Erigon team on that, or if we have differences in opinion on that, on Erigon 3 being broken.
Well, I mean, it's not broken completely, that's for sure, but...
No, like for the applications that need ETHGAD logs, which is literally everything which runs an indexer, which again, as we just heard from Gateway, is broken, right? So that's something which we need in order to deliver the applications, and this currently does not reliably work.
Okay, yeah, so the issue was open 2 hours ago, so we'll prioritize fixing it.
Okay, that's cool, but I think that's not correct. Like, we've seen these issues basically I've seen issues since May on this. Yeah, so I'm not sure what's the action item for now, but I think for one is just awareness that this is an issue in Erigon 3 to obtain logs, which then leads to, as we heard from Gateway, basically shifting load away for these calls from Erigon to other clients. And I think the expectation should always be that every client has to be able to deliver all these requests, which are actually used by apps. And ETHGAD logs, I think, is probably one of the most utilized things that apps call, right? So I know you're on it, but I just wanted to underline here that this is like a maximum severity issues for apps that are currently running on Gnosis and relying on RPC providers. And this issue is an issue at least for the past 2 months. Because there were multiple issues in that direction, right? Yeah, so there's 8860. Sorry, no, that was the wrong number. But yeah, I can share the issue numbers afterwards.
Yes, please.
Cool.
Thank you. Guillaume, good to see you. Any update on Gev?
Hey, yeah, I was mostly, at the interop and then the DevCon. Yeah, I guess is in the process of making a big release, like 1.16, which will get the new what's it called, archive node. There's also a rewrite of the log indexer, so yeah, that might be relevant. Yeah, that's so. I'm just maintaining rebases. Last week at DevCon, I was talking to the DevNode people, so I'm going to start digging into this as well. But yeah, no further updates.
Thank you. And any updates on Ref?
Yes. So we have the DAppNode package is written, but it's pending signing by the DAppNode people. So we just will release it as a DNP, like a DAppNode public release rather than a normal public release. But if any of you want to test it, like I have an unsigned version that's running. I'll just write it along with it. Yeah. And apart from this, currently working on custom headers. There are several blockers on Reth upstream. So we are constantly telling them that this needs fixing, that needs fixing in order to have custom headers, in order for us to support pre-merge. So those things are, the work is still going on there. And also I have news from Hugo. Like Hugo does these analytics and stuff. So currently on Gnosis mainnet, Reth is producing around 6.5% of all the blocks. So yeah, that's a good news to me.
Thank you so much. Really good news. Okay, for CL, I think there are no updates. So moving on to Fusaka. Anyone wants to give an update on testing?
Hey, I have a request to the other clients, Nethermind and Aragon. When you start a Fusaka DevNet, instead of constructor arguments, can you do the normal Genesis, with the like code balance nonce, that format, instead of using constructor? This goes for both Nethermind and Aragon.
I mean, we support non-constructed Genesis, so if one is provided, then we can handle that.
I mean, you're the ones who are making the Genesis, right?
I mean, I think we did the same when we were developing Reth at the beginning. We collapsed the constructors into bytecode, so we should be able to do the same.
Yeah, I mean, it would be better if we just start with the normal Genesis format from the start. Like, as we don't have to do the whole like feeding it to a different client and then getting a snapshot from them. It's a whole it's a non-standardized way of doing it. Like either Reth implements this in the client level, or I think like Ethereum mainnet, we should just have non-constructor Genesis. Yeah, Marcus.
Yeah. Regarding the Fusaka DevNet, I will have a sync with Carlos today to set up the DevNet 2 from Ethereum for Gnosis, and
Okay.
I should have some updates soon regarding that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, because even for testing, having these huge Genesis with constructors is probably the source of issues. So yeah. Okay, I guess for Fusaka it's gonna be an easy fork because we don't have any differences, and the big feature is on networking. I guess we should be mindful, and just like the only worry, I guess, is because of the accelerated slot time. We need to make sure that Gnosis attestation does not suffer. So when testing progresses, we can consider to do a big blocks experiment again style, not a big block specifically because columns just happen by default. But yeah, at least make sure that the network can handle the 6 second slot time, 5 second slot time. Cool. Camille?
Just one question according to Fusaka, because in mainnet we'll be also having the BPOs and we'll be increasing blobs count. Do we plan to do the same for Gnosis?
Yeah, we have not decided yet. So yeah, we have to discuss internally what to do.
Okay. Because this will affect for sure the networking if we'll have blocks bigger with bigger amount of blobs in them. But right now, Gnosis is really close on smallest numbers.
True. Yeah, having more blobs, it makes the columns, the column sidecars bigger, but we still have the same number of data columns anyway. So it's true that the overall bandwidth is lower with our current block count, but we need to make sure that the whole machinery works fine.
Yeah, and later on, when testing on Ethereum side will advance, we can consider making some bigger scaled DevNet comparing to what we did now. So we'll have more visibility on attestations, etc., when the load will be bigger and the network DevNet will be a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Cool. Regarding research, anyone wants to bring anything up? Okay. Then any closing remarks? I want to add one. So I ask you guys a question on QA for any Nethermind devs. So please check the chat. It's about, just give me the list of system contract calls that you do on Nethermind or Shanghai. Shouldn't be too hard.
We'll forward that, so we'll capture that and send you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, any other last closing remarks, comments, topics? Okay, awesome. Then have a great week, everyone. Enjoy your time and happy coding.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Have a good day. Bye.